say we need to do headlights, but every time he turns them on regular, oh man, it looks like we have no lights on.
So this is something I really didn't want to do. I did not want to go from the rectangular headlights to the rounds, but we just have to be able to see at night. I know that there are some upgrades, some I think European spec H4 housings. A buddy of mine has them, he loves them. I just wasn't thrilled with the light output, and I also don't love that if you get a rock chip or something, then you got to get a whole new housing again, and how available will they be in the future? 7-inch round lights are a dime a dozen. They're everywhere. You can do halogens, you can do sealed beams, you can do H4s, LEDs. We decided to go with the LED kit from GoWesty, mostly because of the reviews I saw on it, how well the light output was, and I really think that's where the technology is going to be in the future anyway, so we decided to step up and do that now. So we're going to take this grill out and get it ready to put the new one in. There you go. Super easy. The headlight comes out with 4 screws. Then unplug the brights and the low beams. So here's your wiring. GoWesty gives you an H4 plug kit. I think in the older ones they used to actually give you an adapter plug, which I think this is a better idea because these plugs can be pretty corroded. So we're going to cut everything out. This is your low, this is your ground, this is your high. We're going to cut all these off and we're going to put those on. This was an extra ground I had for the high power relay, so we're going to cut that off as well. Here's our low. So all the wires seem to be in pretty good shape. There's not any real corrosion down in, which is good to see. To hook it up, GoWesty gives you a nice little color connector, white to white, red to yellow, and then green to brown. So I've put on these heat shrinkable butt connectors. GoWesty gives you some butt connectors, but I think these will be much better for this purpose. So we'll start with the white. We'll hook up white to white. And then green goes to brown, which are your grounds. Just a little bit more. Finally, red to yellow. There we go, all wired in. So these should push up in here where these holes kind of line up. Oh, this is kind of sharp, so I put gloves on. My goodness, tight fit. So these holes are slotted, and you'll have to adjust based on your, once you put the grill in, you can adjust these side to side to center them up. GoWesty says to kind of center them up first with the grill in place. That's a lot of eyeballing. So I'm just going to put these in. We'll kind of put the grill in place and we can move these side to side before we do the final torque down on them. Just take a screwdriver and pry this rubber grommet or this rubber spacer off Probably pretty stuck on there for the last 30 or 40 years. That's off. This just slides out and you'll put this new piece in your grill. Push this through here and push that rubber piece right back on. You also need to remove two of these clips from your old headlights. Use a flat blade screwdriver and pry that back. And we'll put these inside the new round headlight housings. A quick first test fit of the grill in there. This light seems pretty centered. When you come over here to this one, you can see it's off a little bit. The problem I have is that piece there is hitting the side of the body and I can't go over anymore. So I'm going to take that bucket back out and trim that a little bit so I can move it over maybe, you know, ½ inch, 3/8 of an inch or so. It took me a lot of fiddling and cutting both of those tabs off those upper corners to even get the grill to sit fairly even gap-wise all the way around on both sides. Now I don't have the bucket centered on both sides just yet. You can see this one needs to come over left a little bit more. This one's pretty good, but man, I say this kit is not high quality. If you can find yourself an OEM grill and OEM buckets to do this, I would highly recommend that. This aftermarket grill is pretty bad quality. And these buckets though, they look nice. They don't quite fit, at least in my van, very well. So we'll do the best we can here. After a few test fits, I decided to paint these housings here black because you could see the shiny kind of, you know, finish behind the headlight a little bit. I didn't like that. So I also painted the chrome rings black. But on that I used a plasti dip because they're chrome and the paint won't really stick to that. So we'll put them back together and see how it looks all black. In order to get this headlight bucket to fit, I had to grind down this pinch weld in here. And then you can't see, but this pinch weld that runs back through here, I had to grind that one down as well because I couldn't get the bucket to fit at all. So I think that's taken care of, and we'll put the lights in now. It is with the full black ring and black housing inside. I think it looks a lot better. So GoWesty recommends about 6 inches from the edge of the light, which puts us about right there. So I would put it looking like about that. To me, I think it's a little close. We might go in a little bit more, maybe it's around 7 inches or so. The problem I see with mounting it the way GoWesty says, they say to screw it to this lip back here, which is fine, but the front of the van is curved, which then puts the light out of alignment. It's shining off to the ditch. It's not lined up with this light. So I think what I'm going to do is create a spacer for right here and use bolts instead of the supplied self-tapping screws. And so I can aim this light more towards the center. There's no way to aim the light side to side once it's on. So this is what I did. Some stainless steel washers as spacers that way I can add if I need to. I left this bolt a little bit long as well because I think I need to space that a bit more, but that's a much more secure way of mounting than the self-tapping screws they give you. So we'll replicate that on the other side, and we'll test fit the grill again and see how it looks. There it is. Lights are all done. We've got the driving light, fog lights hooked up, both headlights in, grill in. We even put a nice red stripe on the grill like the old GTIs used to have. I think it adds a lot to the way the grill looks. Let's go out and test these headlights and see how they look in the dark. So my thoughts on the kit. Well, as you saw, I didn't have the best luck with the fit of the headlight buckets in mine. I had to grind some pinch welds off. I don't know if that's common or not. I don't know. The headlight buckets that GoWesty makes seem to be in pretty good quality overall. They're sturdy, the adjusters work well. They're probably better than anything you're gonna find in the junkyard for old headlight buckets. But if I get a chance, I'm gonna probably try and keep an eye out for some old headlight buckets, replace the adjusters. I think that might be a better way to go long term. The grill, GoWesty doesn't make the grill, they just source it. It's not the best quality, but that's what's available right now. Kind of with the headlight buckets, I'm gonna keep an eye out for an OEM grill, though people want a bunch of money for those right now. So that all set aside, it went together, it looks fantastic. I put some paint on the grill because it had kind of a plasticky look at first, that's no problem. The output of the headlights is outstanding. As you saw in the before and after shots and the side-by-sides, our headlights before were pathetic. I'm not even sure how we even drove around with those. These are outstanding. The low beams are crisp, the cutoff is sharp, the high beams are great. The driving / fog lights, they've got a dual pattern. They really light up the road. So overall, I think this kit is well worth the money. I'm really thankful GoWesty put everything together for us in one bundle that we can kind of just throw on our vans. You can piece this together. You're probably not going to save much of any money, and these parts are all brand new. So overall, we're very happy with it. A quick note about the Peterson Manufacturing 7-inch LED lights that GoWesty sent me. The first light I put in after a day's drive developed condensation on the inside. Called GoWesty, they shipped a new light out and a return label for the old one. Put that one in, the lows worked fine, though when I put the brights on, the bright just flashed. There was a problem with the circuit in the headlight. Called them back, asked them to bench test a new headlight for me. They did that. They sent it to me with a return label for the other headlight. I put that one in, and now all seems well. I don't know if there was an issue with the Peterson Manufacturing's quality or not. Overall, the headlights are outstanding. The quality looks fantastic. They're bright, but GoWesty did a great job of taking care of this.